The seating capacity is 65,000 at Ford Field, and we are right around that number today. A good crowd on hand and seemingly ready to go in the Motor City. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Swift to start the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. This defense for the Packers, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And the way they did it was by getting after the quarterback. Sacked him 7 times in that game. Came from all angles, created a lot of illusions, and especially just beat them man for man. That's the kind of defense that really frustrates an opponent. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Throwing on 3rd. Goff. Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Packers are going to take over at their own 41.
I really don't think you can fault the decision-making here because your offensive quarterback, they really had a big week last week, and you're ready for them to go again here. Not the anticipated result, of course, but you definitely understand why they did what they did. That quarterback's been hot. You want to keep the ball in his hands and see if he can keep the magic going.
And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. He's got it. Touchdown. Allen Lazard, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. They'll start on the ground with Swift. That's to about the 28. Second down coming up. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Off play action. Here's Goff. He's airing it out for Williams. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And the Packers are going to take possession of the football.
Well, they're certainly not giving much up to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. And it's a Packers touchdown. 2 touchdown passes now here in this first quarter for Aaron Rodgers. And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Mason Crosby to kick off for Green Bay.
Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. From the end zone, here comes Williams.
The Lions take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
From the 24, Goff. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and it's going to be a first down. Well done. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call a moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a...
And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. They said there was a lot of discussion in their defensive team meeting room after last week's performance. They had 7 sacks. Something in the water. There's one in the first quarter.
A lot of discussion, a lot of excitement because now everyone wants to get involved with this. Who's going to continue that process? Who's going to get to the quarterback this week? But they have to be careful. When you have that much pressure, they want to use it against you. Draws, screens, those types of plays.
Let's see if they do that. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And yet again, Goff is intercepted. Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. And I think they are going to get this one back. Boy, that would have been something. Double turnovers. But instead, they'll keep the possession on the INT. And so the last 3 drives, you've got 2 interceptions and a fumble. I think we know why they're losing right now.
Without question, and we've seen the evidence, just what you talked about there. If they take care of the football, number one, maybe they're not having this deficit. And number 2, maybe they actually have the lead.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Right side to Watson. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. Oh, he fakes a spike. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Jared Davis, the outside linebacker, dropping him for a loss of 6. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Rodgers. This is caught. It's Christian Watson. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A really nice gain of 25 yards. They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. Now Jones. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Aaron Jones, his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Packers take a 3-touchdown lead. Crosby with the extra point, and it's now 21-0.
Packers 21, Lions nothing. Mason Crosby to kick off for Green Bay.
So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Now on 2nd and 13. Goff. He's airing it out for Williams. That's caught inside the 20. And it's a big play there as he is finally taken down on what will be a terrific final act of this first quarter. 21-0 our score after 1.
Lions nothing.
Now a first down throw. Goff. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Packers are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line.
Well, Brand, as they say in popular culture, this one's going to leave a mark because they can see the end zone, but it'll stay out of reach because of their error. All their offensive teammates have to get with the quarterback right now, offer a little bit of encouragement because what's done is done. Let's get them next time out.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Rodgers now on first down. That one caught downfield by Watson. And he's going to get this down near the 25. We know he's good at catching the football, but then after the catch, he's got escapability.
Not only that, he's got some toughness as well because you know he's coached very hard to make sure he battles through, breaks tackles, and then they finish with, but don't fumble the football.
Rodgers now on first down. This is caught. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A good pickup there of 22.
How How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago. Followed it up with another nice one here. And before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
Now it's Rodgers. And he's got his man. Touchdown, Green Bay. It's Allen Lazard. Aaron Rodgers, 3 first-half touchdown passes. And the Packers are able to add on to their first-half lead. Well, you talk about a team coming into an opposing stadium and just taking the life right out of a crowd. That's what we're witnessing here. 27-0, Charles.
And this defense, they just look completely unprepared for what's been thrown at them. And you know they're supposed to adjust series to series. That has not happened for them. So I don't think halftime adjustments are going to help a heck of a lot. They are in major trouble unless they figure out something really fast.
From the end zone, here comes Williams. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points. But then and now here is another interception. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And into the end zone. It's a pick-6 and a Packer touchdown. I cannot imagine a more perfect half of football for one side, CD, and a more disastrous half of football for another side. But if you focus on the positive half, with this pick-6, you look at where that lead is at, and to think that we are only in the second quarter. My goodness.
I love the expression. My goodness, indeed. Pretty obvious. It's a free fall out there. Everybody gets a chance to make a play. And if you're on the field, you got a great chance of being the next guy that your teammates are celebrating.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And a rout is on here in this first half.
Lions, nothing. Mason Crosby to kick off for Green Bay.
So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And Williams going to sit on this one. It'll be a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. On 2nd and 9, Goff. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath with those guys on the defensive side of the ball. They've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks.
And my goodness, another intercept. Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. Well, do you want to unpack that one, or do you want me to?
You're the boss.
We get the interception, then really he's just too loose with the football on the return, and he coughs it right back up the other way.
I've seen this happen in an NFL game, and boy, did it cost someone. San Francisco at Atlanta a few seasons ago. Atlanta throws the interception. San Francisco runs it back. Game is salted away. Fumbles on the return. Atlanta gets it back, drives down, kicks the game-winning field goal.
How about that? And a crazy situation we just saw there. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Now Goff on first down. That's caught by the, puts it on the carpet, it's out, and the Packers pick it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
That's Aiden Hutchinson. He was determined to blow that play up, and he sure did. Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Here's Rodgers. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A gain there of 21 yards.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. The tackle credited to Deshaun Elliott, the safety.
And when the defense wins and gives up no yardage on a running play, that's something they can build on and carry themselves forward throughout the game.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
On second down, it's Jones. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down. To throw is Rodgers. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
So on fourth down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive.
And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. He's airing it out for Williams. And he's got it inside the 10. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. Now it's gone. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. A shotgun snap for Goff. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
This defense is certainly organized and playing off of each other because the rush is providing pressure and the coverage is forcing incompletions and capitalizing on mistakes. When you get every level on defense hitting at once, you get first-half scores.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Darnell Savage. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
And the Packers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. The cornerback, it's Logan Ryan who brings him down. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter.
So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the third quarter. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
The second half starts with a carry by Jones.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.